Hey there, creepy peeps. I'm Nightmare Maven, and I like to talk about horror. At least that's what I'm told. If you're new here, you better turn back before it's too late. And if you're already a creepy peep, there's no saving you now, so you might as well get comfortable. Saint Maud was finally released in the US. Woo! So naturally, I completely threw out my original idea for today's video, and we're gonna review this instead. I'll go ahead and warn you now, it does say it in the title, but just to reiterate, this is going to be a spoiler movie review. Before that though, I want to say thank you to my creepy patron peeps for supporting my channel. Thank you guys so much. If you want to find out the perks to being a creepy patron peep yourself, the link is always in the description. Written and directed by Rose Glass, this movie follows Maud, who is a reclusive young nurse whose impressionable demeanor causes her to pursue a pious path of Christian devotion after an obscure trauma. Now charged with the hospice care of Amanda, a retired dancer ravaged by cancer, Maud's fervent faith quickly inspires an obsessive conviction that she must save her ward's soul from eternal damnation. I just said all of those big words in one take, and I did not mess up. I'm that bitch. I almost did a come with me style video for this movie, and I'm so glad I didn't, because I wouldn't have had anything coherent to say about this movie like immediately after I got done watching it, because you know I'm always so coherent. I don't really know how I was expecting the movie to go. I'd only ever seen the one trailer, and I guess because Amanda as a character is so prominent in the trailer, I figured she would be a bigger part of the movie than she was, but it took like turns and departures from that I was not expecting. That's not like a bad thing. I did really enjoy that because it got to a certain point in the movie about halfway through. If nothing else, I felt like this movie was about isolation and loneliness, which was not a theme I thought was gonna be in the movie again. All we know about Maud is that she has suffered a kind of recent trauma. We don't actually really know how recent it is. We know she was a nurse before, and she did something very bad that may or may not have included killing a patient. Again, we don't really know. We also know that she is a recent convert to Christianity, and she, I guess, recently started calling herself Maud. She encounters a character later on who recognizes her and calls her Katie. So Maud is obviously not her real name. I just felt like Maud was so desperate to just be included in something and not feel so lonely and be a part of something. So she, you know, converts to Christianity, which is on its surface and as it's advertised is all about community and loving thy neighbor and blah, 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 blah. And I think that paired with her trauma, she creates all of these delusions of, you know, her feeling the Lord within her and working within her and around her. At one point in the movie, we actually literally hear her speaking with God, and the voice that they use for God when we finally hear it is actually Maud's voice pitched down, which I feel like just further supports that she's just so isolated and lonely that she is creating all of this in her head to feel less lonely. And this 100% stems from my own personal feelings on Christianity. I feel like having my pentacle necklace should be prominent in this video, but I feel like the inclusion of religion almost as a character in the movie, like it's so prominent, it serves to show how sometimes people use religion to justify their actions. Of course, I'm not saying that every single Christian in the world is a bad person. It would be completely just naive and ignorant to ignore that people have done very bad things in the name of religion in general. And I feel like the movie is kind of showing like Maud maybe joined the religion with good intentions, maybe to save herself because she felt guilty about what she did, because again, we don't know if what she did was purposeful or if it genuinely was an accident and she was traumatized by it. Either way, so she could be feeling guilty, trying to find a way to save herself, but she just ends up isolating even more and creating these delusions, which become an excuse for her to try and save her patients like Amanda. All of this leads to the end of the movie, where we'll get right into it. Maud lights herself on fire in public on a beach, like in front of a whole bunch of people. And when she does so, we see her like radiating with this like holy light. She has like wings that sprout from her back, and it looks as though as if maybe she's like ascending. Maybe she's actually becoming a saint. She's becoming an angel. We don't really know. It's so quick. Right at the very end, before the credits start rolling, there's just a flash of what I interpreted as what's really happening. Maud blackened and burned, and she's screaming in pain, and then the movie just ends. It took me by surprise at how bleak it was, especially for how quickly that is. Like, it's a split second, it's a blink. Like, it could be a sort of punishment from God for using Christianity in the way that she did, like using it as a reasoning for causing harm to people. Because that's definitely not how Maud sees herself. There's one point in the movie where Amanda sees the necklace that Maud is wearing, and Maud says that it's Mary Magdalene, which says a lot. She's known for witnessing Jesus's crucifixion and the aftermath of that. She's known to have traveled with Jesus and supported his ministry. I think in some iterations it's because of her wealth. She's actually quite wealthy. Other iterations and interpretations, she's seen as a repentant prostitute, and she is a patron of converts, penitent sinners, and people ridiculed for their piety, all of which either legitimately describe Maud or that's the way Maud sees herself. I don't know. I really liked the movie. I don't know if I was expecting to like feel as deeply about it as I did, but I don't know, it struck a chord with me or something. I feel like there's a lot to pick apart with this movie, also more so than I did. I feel like I could go on more, but this really isn't a review at this point. Was it ever a review? I did like it. I can't wait for it to be a Does This Offend You pick, because I'm sure at some point we're gonna revisit religion and we're gonna have to watch this movie, or I will insist upon it. But I really, really enjoyed it. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. On IMDb, it has a 6.9 out of 10. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 93% critic score and a 68% audience score. And on Letterboxd, it has a 3.6 out of 5. So if you've seen Saint Maud, which I'm sure so many of you have already because I know it was released in other countries. It's been released in other countries for a while now. I hope you enjoyed this video, this review. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here. Become a Creepy Peep today. I post 2 new videos a week on Wednesdays and Saturdays, so that means I'll see you this weekend with another new video. Until then, stay strange. Bye.